They did it. They did it. Welcome back, everyone, to the final game review of the season. The Stanley Cup has finally been awarded after a long season, and the Vegas Golden Knights have won their first ever Stanley Cup, defeating the Florida Panthers in Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final, 9-3. A lot of goals in this game. Very entertaining. Let's look at it. So Vegas wins the series 4-1, so in 5 games. And for Florida, Tkachuk was out with a broken sternum, so that was fantastic. Gudas was revealed to have been playing with a high ankle sprain. Ekblad had a broken foot, 2 dislocated shoulders, and an oblique, something wrong, an oblique, what was it? An oblique tear, an oblique something. It's well known Duclair, Montour, and Reinhart have had undisclosed injuries right now. We haven't heard anything about Vegas, what they've gone through, but those are some of the injuries that Florida's gone through, and it makes sense why they were kind of dead in the water right now. Bobrovsky's save percentage is going to take a hit after this, but I will say for Florida, he was their MVP of this playoffs. Tkachuk was it to start, and then Bobrovsky kind of took over. But this game doesn't show it, but we'll go through it. Wearing my 4th Vegas jersey, the 4th one they've ever worn, their red reverse retro. It's William Karlsson on the back, that you've seen before. And then, along with this video, I'm probably going to be trying to get a video up per day. I might pre-record a bunch of videos and then upload them daily if I'm not able, because I know I'm going to be busy soon. So I'm going to have to pre-record and then upload. So I want to get this video up. I want to get the series review up tomorrow, and probably the review of the playoffs in 2 days. And then I'll obviously go through the champions team, the finalist team, and then we'll start going into the summer with there'll be career videos and kind of whatever the heck we want. We can chill during the summer. It's summertime. So Game 5, Vegas wins 9-3. How do we get there? In the first, Florida is actually the dominating team 6 minutes into the game. The first 6 minutes were all Florida. Problem is, the next 54 minutes were all Vegas. At 8:08, it's 1-0 as Vegas scores shorthanded. It's on Florida's only power play. There were only 2 penalties in the game, 1 for each team. And on Florida's power play, Mark Stone scores shorthanded, his 9th of the playoffs. It's unassisted. He comes right in on Bobrovsky right there. The T-Mobile Arena goes nuts. Absolutely nuts. And the Vegas fans, incredible. You had a bunch of celebrities in the crowd. I saw 50 Cent. I saw Steve Aoki. Owen Wilson was there, notably from the voice of Cars, and he's also in Wedding Crashers. Love that guy. He's in Wonder as well, I believe. And so erupting early, and then you look outside the arena. They showed shots. Tens of thousands of people on the Vegas streets outside the arena, on the strip, on everything. What a sight to see for a brand new market. It took 6 years for them to win a cup. For 1 year to get to the final, they've made the playoffs 5 out of 6 years. 1 year they didn't. They were injured to hell and back, so it's acceptable. And of course, they go to the conference final 4 out of those 6 years. And then you got teams like Buffalo and Vancouver, who have been now waiting 52, 53 years and have not won anything. We'll get into that, and that's something I want to talk about later on in this video. And then, so Stone scores first, and then at 6:19, Vegas scores again. It's a controversial goal. It's Nicholas Hague, second of the playoffs from Eichel and Marchessault, which makes it 2-0. So this play upset a lot of people, and that said should it be no goal because the whistle had blown. My argument is, yes, you're right, the whistle blew, but it should have been no goal. But it's just so because the whistle blew, it should be no goal. However, it should be a goal because the whistle should not have been blown because the puck was loose. Bobrovsky did not have it. It was Eichel pokes it loose, and then there's another guy in there, and then Hague comes in. He gets the final push on it, and he makes it 2-0. So I think it's a good goal. I think it's the right call, even though the puck was playing dead. A lot of people hate Vegas because they're successful. As my second favorite team, I do not hate Vegas, but I saw on Instagram after this, I'm looking at the post this is BS, that should have been no goal, why is it, it's a goal because Vegas reasons. Come on guys, it's not. I of course, I can't prove it, but you got to think about this logically sometimes, and right now, the whole fandom of the NHL is not. And that's kind of what makes me angry about the NHL fandom. Going off track a little quick. The NHL fandom is always, they should be like united against like the bigger forces. Like you got teams like the NBA, the NFL, the MLB, but there's constant infighting between the fan bases, like over little things. That is the reason why NHL is not one of the biggest sports in the U.S. anymore. Of course, Canada, it's always going to be. But you've got like all this division among fans over like stupid things like it's only been 6 years, so Vegas can't win a cup. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so we go to the second period. 17:45, Aaron Ekblad on a broken foot, 2 separated shoulders, and an oblique tear gives the Panthers hope. He makes it 2-1 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds in to the second period, his second of the playoffs from Cousins, and then there's no goals for actually probably the longest period of time in this game for 8 minutes. But at 9:32, it's 3-1 as Vegas scores. It's Alec Martinez, his second of the playoffs from Eichel and Pietrangelo. So Eichel with 2 assists already, and for Martinez, 9 years ago on yesterday, so the same day as when the Kings won the Cup in 2014, he scores the third goal of the game-winning goal in overtime to give the Kings the Stanley Cup. Here he's again scoring on the same day 9 years later, the third goal of the game in Game 5 as well, and Vegas ends up winning the Stanley Cup. Third cup for Martinez, third cup for Quick, second cup for McNabb, third cup for Kessel. A lot of guys winning several cups. Pietrangelo, Barbashev each have 2 now. So very nice for them. And then 7:47, so about a minute and 45 seconds-ish later, Riley Smith scores on a one-timer, his 4th of the playoffs from Carlson and Theodore, which makes it 4-1. Then to make it 5-1 at 2:45, it's a Vegas goal from Mark Stone, his 10th of the playoffs, once again another one-timer from Howden and Stevenson. So it is 5-1. And then can't get out of the period because at 2 seconds left in the period, Michael Amadio scores his 5th of the playoffs from Riley Smith to make it 6-1 going into the third period. And this felt like 2012 Game 6 between the Devils and the Kings, where the Kings ran the Devils out of the building in the clinching game. They embarrassed them, and this exactly felt like it. In the third period, it only gets better. 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes without any goals, but Ivan Barbashev, with his 7th of the playoffs from Eichel and Theodore, makes it 7-1 Vegas. However, about 25-ish seconds later, Florida gets at one back at 11:13. It's Sam Reinhart with the goal, 8th of the playoffs from Bennett and Montour. And then 3 minutes later, Florida makes it 7-3 at 8:21 with Sam Bennett getting the goal, his 5th of the playoffs from Forsling and Reinhart. So Reinhart getting his first 2 points of the series, Bennett picking up 2 points, Montour and Forsling getting those. Ekblad and Cousins are the only Panthers that get on the board. Once again, you don't see Barkov up here, and that's been a conversation about Barkov, how he did not perform well in the playoffs. So Florida gets the 2 goals back, and then 5:54, they pulled the goalie with around 7 minutes left, so about a minute into that, Vegas makes it 8-3. It's an empty net goal from Mark Stone. He gets the hat trick in the first time since 22, they said, with Babe Dye, who had a hat trick in the series clinching game in the final. His 11th of the playoffs, unassisted, and you think it's over, and then no, it's not, because at 1:02, Vegas makes it 9-3. It's Nicholas Waugh with his 3rd of the playoffs from Theodore and McNabb to make it 9-3. And wow. Absolutely wow. And what's funny is that Florida outshot Vegas 33-31 in this game. You would never know. So yeah, Vegas dominates the game. They win the Stanley Cup on home ice. First team to do that since the 2021 Lightning, and only the second team since the 2016 Pittsburgh Penguins. So starting, I'd say, in the what is considered the new era? Because I'd say the McDavid era. I would say from probably 2016 to now. But then again, I consider like 32 teams a new era. I don't know. But the Conn Smythe Trophy goes to, one moment, this man right here, Jonathan Marchessault. My guy, I got this jersey 6 years ago, and I wanted my grandparents, since they lived in Vegas, they don't live there anymore, but they lived there for 20 years, and they said, who do you want on the back of your Vegas jersey? And I said, Jonathan Marchessault. The reason why at the time is because I saw him light up the Hawks when Florida lit them up 7-0 when he was with Florida. He had a hat trick. And I just remembered that. I thought, that's the guy I want on Vegas. So I got his jersey. And here he is 6 years later, that jersey, still being relevant, still being a key contributor. And, and of course the passing the cup, Stone raises it first. All the original Vegas Golden Knights got it first, so Stone handed it to Riley Smith, to Jonathan Marchessault, to William Karlsson. You had the Misfit line go first, who handed it to Braden McNabb, who had already won one with LA, but he was an original Vegas Golden Knight, to Shea Theodore, of course, and then to William Carrier, the 6 originals. And then from Carrier, he handed it to Pietrangelo, the other alternate captain, who handed it to Martinez, I believe, who handed it to Jonathan Quick, both of them teammates in LA for such a long time. And this could be Jonathan Quick's last ever game to be a part of. He was a backup. 4 goalies for the Vegas Golden Knights will have their name on the cup, which is cool. I'm not sure if there's ever been 4 goalies, because there were 4 goalies on the ice because of how many they used. Because since you had Brazois, who got injured, who played, Hill, of course, who played. Quick was the backup, so he automatically gets his name in, and Thompson was the goaltender for the majority of the season, so they all will get their names on the cup. And for Mark Stahl and Eric Stahl, this could be their last career games. We'll see. They could go play with Jordan. They could resign. Who knows? But, yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights are the Stanley Cup champions. And, I'm all for them. And for those who say it's too early, they haven't suffered enough, I say, who cares? Tell your team to get good. And of course, 2023 must be the year of me, because the Hawks get the first overall pick, my favorite team. My second favorite team wins the Stanley Cup. I'm not going to remember this as the year I graduated high school. I remember this as the year everything went right for me in hockey. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.